You know that feeling when you watch a movie that just grips you from the start and you know you're in for something special? Well, that's Heat for you. Michael Mann's 1995 crime thriller is one of those films that sticks with you long after the credits roll. It's got it all: action, tension, character depth, and some unforgettable moments. If you've never seen it or haven't watched it in a while, you're missing out. Released back in 1995, Heat isn't just any run-of-the-mill heist movie. It's a masterclass in storytelling, with a plot that's as thick as the tension between the characters. It stars some heavy hitters in Hollywood: Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, and even a young Natalie Portman. You know it's big when you have two of the greatest actors of all time, De Niro and Pacino, sharing the screen together. And if you're someone who loves those gritty, edge-of-your-seat crime thrillers, then this one is basically a must-watch. But let's slow down for a second and really dive into what this movie's all about, and why it's still one of the best crime dramas out there. You might think it's just a bunch of criminals and cops chasing each other, but it's way deeper than that. Heat is essentially a story of two men on opposite sides of the law who are just trying to do their job, but both struggling with their own personal demons. On one side, you've got Neil McCauley, played by Robert De Niro, a professional thief who lives by a strict code. He's the kind of guy who tells you, don't get attached to anything you're not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. Tough, right? And on the other side, there's Lieutenant Vincent Hanna, played by Al Pacino, a cop who's just as obsessed with his job as Neil is with his. He's a man who can't stop chasing criminals, no matter the personal cost. Both men are living in this world where their jobs come first, and everything else is secondary. But what makes this movie so incredible isn't just the intense robberies or the high-stakes moments. It's the relationship between these two characters that really steals the show. There's this constant cat-and-mouse game going on, but at the same time, there's this strange respect they have for each other. It's like two chess players, each knowing they're the best in their field, but knowing that only one of them can walk away the winner. De Niro and Pacino bring such depth to their roles, and their interactions feel so raw and real. Okay, so let's talk about the plot and how it all unfolds. Neil McCauley, the cool, calm, and collected criminal mastermind, is leading a crew of thieves who specialize in big-ticket heists. His latest plan? To steal millions of dollars from a vault at a major bank. But as with all grand plans, there's a catch. You see, Neil's team gets a bit sloppy on the job, and that's where Lieutenant Vincent Hanna comes in. Hanna is the kind of cop who doesn't miss a beat. He's got his finger on the pulse of the criminal world, and it doesn't take long before he's on Neil's trail. But here's the thing. While Neil and his team are working their next big job, they're also trying to dodge Hanna, who's always one step behind. And as the story moves forward, both men's lives get more and more intertwined. What's fascinating about Heat is that it's not just about these men chasing each other. It's about their lives outside the crime and the badge. Neil, for example, is dealing with his own personal issues. He's in a relationship with a woman named Edie, played by Amy Brenneman, but he's constantly torn between his love for her and his need to remain detached from everything. It's clear that his lifestyle is eating him up inside, but he can't seem to break free. The film dives deep into this internal struggle, showing how the constant pull of his criminal life is ruining his chances for a normal future. On the flip side, you've got Lieutenant Hanna. The man's so wrapped up in his job that his personal life is a mess. His marriage is falling apart and he's disconnected from his wife, Justine, played by Diane Venora. She's trying to get him to open up, but he's consumed by the hunt for criminals. There's this tragic irony in Hanna's life. He's so dedicated to catching bad guys, but in the process, he's pushing away the one thing that could give his life some balance. And then we get to the iconic scene, the one that everyone remembers, the face-off. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Neil and Hanna meet face to face. Finally, they sit down in a diner, and for the first time in the entire film, they're not trying to outsmart each other or catch each other. They're just two men talking. It's like they finally realize they're both living the same kind of life. Both have sacrificed their personal happiness for the job, and both are trapped by their obsessions. It's an incredibly intense moment. Pacino and De Niro have this back and forth that's so electric. You can practically feel the tension in the air. And what's interesting is that, despite being on opposite sides of the law, they both seem to understand each other. They know that their fates are intertwined, and there's a certain respect between them. Neil even tells Hannah, "You can get killed walking your doggy," and Hannah, in turn, respects Neil's code of honor, despite being on the opposite side. The bank robbery in Heat is one of the film's most thrilling and pivotal moments. It's meticulously planned and executed, but also shows just how things can unravel when the stakes are high. The whole robbery starts with Neil McCauley, played by Robert De Niro, and his team, which consists of Chris Shiherlis, Val Kilmer, Michael Chirito, Tom Sizemore, and a couple of other crew members. The group is a well-oiled machine, having pulled off several high-stakes jobs before. They specialize in big heists, and they're extremely professional about it. Their target, this time, is a bank, a big one. The plan is to hit the vault, grab the cash, and get out without a hitch. But things start to go wrong before they even get inside. Neil's crew has been doing this kind of thing for a long time, and they know the risks involved. They've accounted for everything: the timing, the escape routes, the weapons. It's all supposed to go off like clockwork, but a key moment happens when the team encounters a security guard at the bank. He's part of their plan, and the whole thing goes smoothly at first. However, the big hiccup happens when one of the crew members, Waingro, Kevin Gage, gets a little too hot-headed. Waingro is a loose cannon who's recently joined the team, and he's not as experienced as the others. During the heist, he panics and kills a security guard during the robbery, something that was never supposed to happen. This moment sets off a chain of events that causes everything to spiral out of control. Waingro's rash actions make the entire robbery messier than it was supposed to be, and it catches the attention of the police. Now, the crew has to make a quick getaway, and that's where the tension really starts to build. The cops are already on their way, and the crew is in a race against time to get out. A high-speed chase through the streets of Los Angeles ensues, with Neil and his crew trying to shake off the cops and make their way to safety. The situation gets even worse when, during the getaway, they run into a huge traffic jam. They have to think fast. In one of the most iconic sequences in the film, Neil and his crew have no choice but to take drastic action. They open fire on the police officers who are blocking their escape, resulting in an intense shootout that rages through the streets. The team manages to escape, but not without casualties. They lose one of their own, a member of the crew who is killed during the firefight. The bank robbery is a key moment in Heat because it sets everything else in motion. It's not just about the heist, it's about the consequences of getting too greedy, making mistakes, and how one bad decision can snowball into something much bigger. The intensity of the robbery and the aftermath make it one of the most memorable scenes in crime cinema history. One of the reasons Heat stands out from other crime dramas is how it goes beyond just the action or the heists. It's a meditation on obsession, loneliness, and the cost of living a life that consumes you. And let's be real, that final moment between De Niro and Pacino, with Hannah reaching out to Neil as he's dying, it's an emotional gut punch that leaves you thinking long after the film's over. In terms of its legacy, Heat is still talked about today as one of the greatest crime movies ever made. It's a movie that's influenced a ton of directors and filmmakers, and its themes still resonate. The blend of action, character development, and deep exploration of the human condition makes Heat one of those films that's not just a good watch, but an experience. So whether you're a fan of crime dramas, or you're just looking for something that'll keep you at the edge of your seat, Heat is the movie you need to check out. From the powerful performances, to the intense heists, to the deep emotional moments. This one has it all. You won't regret it. Have you watched the movie Heat? What were your thoughts? As always, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe for more content coming soon.